Hi everyone. So we've learned 5 visual elements in the last video. So the first one was line, and the second one was shape and mass. Third one was light, and the fourth one was texture and pattern, and the fifth one was space, right? In this video, we are going to see sixth element, color, and the last element, time and motion. So science tells us that we cannot perceive color without light. So light consists of energy that travels in waves, much as water forms waves. That distance between the peak of each wave of this energy is its wavelength, which is a term from physics that measures light. If white or normal daylight passes through a prism, we see that it is composed of constituent colors of light, which have different wavelengths. So this is color wheel. We can divide colors as 3: primary, secondary, and tertiary color. So primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So these are labeled with number 1 on the color wheel. So they're called primary because they cannot be made by any mixture of other colors. And secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. So these are labeled with the number 2. Each is made by combining 2 primary colors. So for example, when you mix yellow and blue, the primary colors, then you can make green color. And tertiary colors. So tertiary colors are labeled 3, like this. And these are the product of a primary color and a secondary color. So for example, when you mix one primary color, yellow, and one secondary color, green, then you can make green color, a yellow-green color. So now, let's talk about color properties. So any color has 3 properties: hue, value, saturation. So hue is the name of color according to the categories of the color wheel. And value refers to relative lightness or darkness of the color. And saturation or intensity refers to the relative purity of the color. So colors may be pure and saturated as they appear on the color wheel, or they may be dulled and softened to some degree. And there are 2 ways to see the colors by light and pigment. It's additive color and subtractive color. Let's see what these are. So additive color is here on the left one. And it is also called RGB color, which means red, green, and blue. So it is a property of a color model that predicts the appearance of colors made by coincident component light with distinct color. RGB color uses for digital art, internet, TV, or computer colors, etc. And subtractive color on the right side, it is also called CMYK color, which means cyan, magenta, yellow, and K is black. So it is the kind of mixing you get if you illuminate colored filters with white light from behind, as illustrated at left. So CMYK color uses for all kinds of printing, like magazines, books, or t-shirt printing, everything. Now we are going to see optical effects of color. So there are two types of optical effects of color we are going to see. So first one is simultaneous contrast. And the next one is optical color mixture. Let's see one by one. So simultaneous contrast. So when there are two colors side by side, these colors interact with one another and change our perception accordingly. So for example, complementary color. So when you see the color here again, and there are opposite colors. So for example, yellow, and on the opposite side, there is a violet, right? So they are called complementary colors. So these are Vincent van Gogh's paintings. He used simultaneous contrast for optical effects of color in these two paintings. So look at the left painting first. So he used dark blue on the sky and the yellow light here with the vivid orange outdoor dining spots like this. And the orange and the blue color, they are complementary colors to each other. By using complementary colors as simultaneous contrast, the image is stamped on the viewer's eyes. Now let's look at the right image. So the ceiling and all the tabletops color are greenish color, right? And the rest of the part are red and reddish brown colors. So green and red are complementary colors each other. So this painting is also using same effect of color. Now let's talk about the next optical effects of color, optical color mixture. So colors can be mixed in light or pigment, but they can also be mixed by eyes. So when small patches of different colors are close together, the eye may blend them to produce a new color. For example, pointillism is using this optical color mixture effect. So let's see the examples of optical color mixture. So the left box consists of tiny red and blue dots, right? And look at the right one. The right box has red and yellow dots in it, right? So now let's look at these boxes with your eyes half closed like this. A little bit back up. And can you see purple and orange boxes on the screen? So that is optical color mixture by mixing colors in our eyes. So this is Georges Seurat's painting. So when you see his painting closer, you can see there are no brush strokes, and it consists of tons of tiny color dots. All the colors in this painting are made by optical color mixture, which means the green color made by mixture of other colors. That technique is called pointillism. So Georges Seurat developed this technique in modern era, 19th century, as a post-impressionist. So there are all about color as visual elements in art. So these are all about colors for the visual elements in art. So there is a video about this painting in the Moodle room. So please watch this video for your understanding. Now let's move on to the last visual element, time and motion. So time and motion have always been linked to art. During 20th century, time and motion truly took their places as elements of Western art. Through advances in science and technology, daily life became far more dynamic, and the nature of time and its relationship to space and the universe more a matter for thought. So there is implied motion just like other visual elements. So we do not see actual the motion happening in the piece of art, but visual clues tell us that it is a key aspect of the work. So let's look at this example. So this is a marble sculpture by Gian Lorenzo Bernini's painting, and he is a Baroque artist in 17th century. So there is no actual movement in this masterpiece. However, the figures' poses are so dynamic and theatrical, so we could feel we are in the middle of the action. This is called implied motion. And this is another example of implied motion. So this is a futurist artist, Giacomo Bella's painting, Dynamism of a Dog on a Leash in 20th century. So the artist tried to record all of the time and motion of the certain moment in one frame. So we can see a dog and a person is walking from this painting. So that is implied motion. So artists can also communicate the idea of motion by creating an illusion of it. Artists create this illusion through visual tricks that deceive our eyes into believing there is motion as time passes, even though no actual motion occurs. So for example, there is a noticeable sense of movement when we look at Cataract 3, this work made by the British artist Bridget Riley. So if we focus on a single point in the center of the work, it appears there is an overall vibrating motion. So this optical illusion grows out of the natural physiological movement of the human eye. An art that moves is called kinetic. From the Greek word kinetos means moving. So kinetic art is art from any medium that contains movement perceivable by the viewers or depends on motion for its effect. So there is a video about kinetic art in the Moodle room. It's going to be really fun. So please watch the video for understanding kinetic art. Bye.